And what's happening to you guys, Extreme Person here, and welcome back to another video. So in this video, what I wanted to talk about today is pretty much PewDiePie and the whole N-word situation. I wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on it because I feel like I just want to, because it's so interesting how the community has been reacting to PewDiePie saying it and how he used it. First of all, can we just agree that this man used it with such a powerful authority? Like, this man, you can tell that he uses it on a day-to-day basis, and you know, we just don't see it because, you know, he obviously edits the video out, you know, removes it if he accidentally says it in one of his videos. But this was a stream. There was no way he could have, you know, edited it out. He said it, and with the way he said it, you know he uses it on a day-to-day basis. It's not something that you can just accidentally say. Like, when you stomp your toe on something, you don't sit down and think of which word you want to use to express your pain and frustration. You just say the first thing that you naturally say when you're either pissed off or when you're in pain. So in PewDiePie's situation, he used it because he was frustrated on how the other player was playing, and he obviously wanted to express his hatred towards that player by using a word that he feels would be sufficient enough to describe his frustration. So in that regard, a lot of people have been split into 2 sides. You know, the first side is obviously defending PewDiePie, saying that, oh, you know, first of all, there was no ethnicity behind it, so he can't be racist. He obviously said it by accident, so obviously he's not racist. And pretty much it's PewDiePie, we should just forgive him because, you know, he's PewDiePie. And the other side of things are people who just want to absolutely destroy this man. That's calling him racist. They're saying that his actions are just, you know, foolish and stupid, and basically he's just gonna cause a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers who obviously use YouTube as a platform to sustain that, you know, lifestyle. He's gonna cause a lot of more troubles because, believe it or not, because a lot of people are trying to kind of brush aside the whole, you know, demonetization that's happening on YouTube. But the reason why this is happening is because of you know, it's, wow, I'm stumbling all over the place. By the way, I don't have this scripted, so yeah, it's because of PewDiePie. PewDiePie is the sole reason why we are currently experiencing all the changes that is pretty much happening on YouTube. Like, yes, Wall Street Journal is also to blame as well, but let's face it, if PewDiePie had some common sense, he wouldn't have made that video about death to all Jews. Listen, comedic or not, satire or not, it's still pretty stupid. So PewDiePie is to blame for that. But here's the thing, right? The people who are arguing whether or not PewDiePie is racist, these people can't make that argument because we all know PewDiePie, but we don't know Felix. We have no idea who he is as a person. We only know what he wants us to know. We only know PewDiePie, the image of PewDiePie. The only people who can determine whether this guy is racist or not are people who've probably met him and know him long enough to make that statement. So, you know, some of the YouTubers who've met him and collabed with him, and on some cases, they still don't have that basis to make that statement. I don't know, I'm just my opinion. I'm not saying he's racist, I'm not saying he's not racist, because I don't know who Felix is. I only know PewDiePie. And when you're talking about YouTube or just TV in general, everyone puts on a persona. Like, the moment you put a camera on a human being, they will behave dramatically differently than how they would behave if they were kind of surrounded with their close friends, or if they were kind of alone, you know, by themselves. Literally, no one is real on YouTube. Like, people can say, oh, I'm being 100% real, this is who I am as a person, but that's bullshit. You don't believe someone when they say they're 100% real on YouTube, because we all put on a persona just so we can, I guess, we can just reach a broader audience or something like that. But basically, I'm saying is that nobody is real on YouTube. We all have a persona. You know, the same goes for PewDiePie and how he said the N-word. Like, you can obviously tell he uses it behind the scenes. It's something that he probably uses to express his frustration on something. So yeah, now the N-word, a lot of people are saying that because it's the gaming community, the N-word is rooted with the gaming community, and so, you know, when you expose yourself to the online side of gaming, it's something that you should be expecting. That, when people said that and used that as an argument to defend PewDiePie, I was just disappointed. Like, Jesus Christ, is this how low we are as a gaming community, that we can actually try to justify someone using the N-word? Like, seriously, is that really what we're doing right now? So it's kind of mad that people would try to use that statement or that argument to defend the use of the word, but that's besides the point. Now I want to talk about the N-word itself. So obviously it goes without saying that Nigger is the bad one. Like, no one should be allowed to say it regardless of your ethnicity. Now I'm talking about white, black, Asian, all of everyone. That word should just die and be left in history. The only time you should be mentioning Nigger is if you're going through history and you're obviously revising what people have done in the past, so we won't make that same mistake in the future. That's one exception. Now, Nigga, the one that's popular with everyone, people say it to try and obviously say my homie, or to express certain types of emotions and things like that. Here's how I feel about this. Now I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and there's just one solution to it. Either we all can say it, or none of us can say it. And I would personally prefer if none of us can say it. Like, I'm talking about white, black, Asian. We should just leave the N-word in the past and move on. Like, it's past its prime. Like, the purpose of that word was to try and change Nigga to something positive, and for the most part it did succeed in doing that. But let's face it, like, you know, when you look at people like, you know, Martin Luther King, who obviously made famous speeches, and then one of them is that we shouldn't judge people by the color of their skin, but by their character and stuff like that. He himself would not have used the N-word. Like, he was absolutely disgusted with that word and wouldn't even imagine to have that word in his vocabulary. So I feel like we should kind of follow in that principle and just stop saying it. But if it's not possible, which I don't see why it shouldn't be, but if it's not possible, we can't control it anymore. Now, if it's true that we've changed that word into something positive, into something that means my homie, my friend, my bro, or whatever the case may be, then I feel like we can't really control it when a white person wants to say it to another white person. You know what I mean? Now, when a white person says it to a black person, all I'm gonna say is that you are saying it at your own risk, because everyone has different feeling towards the N-word. Like, if someone calls me the N-word, Nigger, I'm not gonna get mad, because I know I'm not a nigger, so I'm not gonna get mad. You only can get mad at something that you feel like is associated to you. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but what I'm saying is that if a white person calls me the N-word, if I react to it, I have given that word power. But if I don't react to it and I just brush it off like, oh, whatever, it's like calling me an idiot, or it's like calling me a jackass, I'll just move on, and soon enough that word loses power. And I feel like that's important, especially for the black community, to kind of embrace. When you react to the N-word, I'm talking about Nigger now. If you react to that word and you get angry and you get pissed off, I understand that the word has history, it has just bad history behind it, but the only way you can truly negate the effect of that word is to just not be affected by it, or just don't show that the word is affecting you, like, in a way, you know what I mean? That's how I try and deal with the word. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. This is going to be a very poor example, but it's something that I just wanted to use to try and help you understand where I'm getting at. So if someone calls you stupid and you know you're not stupid, you're not gonna react in a way that gives them the power that they want to have over you, you know what I mean? When someone calls you stupid and you don't get affected by it because you know you're not stupid, that word loses all its power. It just falls down and it just disappears. Like, it doesn't affect you. And instead, what you do is you just retaliate with something that you know is going to affect you. So it's the same with the N-word. If someone calls you an N-word, don't react, well, not react, don't react, because I know that word has some painful memories for some people, but what I'm trying to say is that do not show that that word has hurt you, because that's what they want. People don't use insulting words or just bad racial slurs because they want to use it. They want to use it because they want you to feel pain. They want to see you react angrily to it. They want to see you lose your shit and do something stupid, like maybe, react in a very kind of crazy manner, or maybe try to hit them. You want to show that that word doesn't control you, like that word has literally no effect to you whatsoever. So That's how I carry on when it comes to the N-word, or just any word in general. Like, if people call me stupid, I'm not gonna react to it. In fact, sometimes I just, retaliate with a cheeky comment, and I try to make them look stupid for using it. So it's like, that's what I'm trying to get at. But I understand that the word nigger, N-I-G-G-E-R, has some very bad history for some people, and obviously no matter how you try to brush it off, it may still leave a sting. But what I'm trying to say is that do not let that sting be shown to your enemies, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to say is that the N-word shouldn't be held with such a regard anymore. The more we keep it up there, like it's some sort of powerful word that no matter what happens, whenever someone uses it, it just has that powerful effect. We should just bring it back down, and just all the way down to some borderline useless word that people won't use anymore to insult people. That's what I'm getting at. And when it comes to the N-I-G-G-A, like I said before, it's very difficult to stop people from using it, especially if people are growing up listening to things like rap music, movies and things like that. So it always comes down to either we all can say it or none of us can say it. That's just the only way I can see this going. There is no way you can stop pretty much a huge majority of the human race from using the word. Now, I feel like white people, when it comes to N-I-G-G-A, they can use it. I don't really care, honestly. At this point, it makes no sense for me to sit down and be like, holy shit, a white person just used the N-I-G-G-A. Let's hunt that motherfucker down and just end his life. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, if you use it, you use it. Like, here's the thing, right? I don't know. Like, I feel like the word has lived its purpose. People have tried to change that word into something positive, and in fact, it just caused more issues and more, nonsense anyways. So yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinion on it. Going back to PewDiePie, I don't know if PewDiePie is racist or not. I'm not gonna say that he is not racist. I'm not gonna say that he is racist, because I don't know who PewDiePie is, and that's just the fact of the matter. Like, obviously when you take the video itself and just look at it, you can't really call him, racist, because, who he yelled the word at, we don't know his ethnicity. It's just an avatar, so we don't know. So he used, sorry, I'm just all over the place here, but he used that word like he would have used motherfucker, piece of shit, asshole. He used it as an insult, like a basic ass insult, which is weird. Like, that's the word he chooses, but I can't say for sure why he chose that word. I know for a fact that that word is in his vocabulary, so there's no denying it. And yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens in the future. Most people who are pissed off, at PewDiePie for using that word probably don't even care about the N-word itself. They just care that he is about to fuck up YouTube in such a horrible level. Like I said in the beginning of the video, he is the reason why I can't say that word anymore. He's the reason why people are getting their video demonetized. He's the reason. Like, you can't deny it. You cannot deny it. If you're in the YouTube community, you know the reason. You can try. I'm a fan of PewDiePie. You can try and defend him, but it's not possible. If PewDiePie, like, look back, all the way back, if PewDiePie had never released that video, you would be still making that same amount of revenue that you've been making for the past 2-4 years. You would have been fine. You wouldn't have had the need to create Patreon. You wouldn't have had the need to, get more sponsorship, which actually isn't really a bad thing. You should try and get sponsorship anyways, but you wouldn't be thinking about this type of things. But because of that one video gave Wall Street Journal the ammunition that they needed to literally fuck YouTube. Like, they destroyed YouTube. So people who were once thinking about making YouTube their career are now looking for alternative way to get paid, which is something I've been saying for the last ever. YouTube is unstable. You see how just one person literally affected everybody. One person. It's crazy, but yeah, so that's pretty much it though. That's just my opinion and thoughts on the whole issue. Like, let's just recap real quick. First of all, I can't tell whether PewDiePie is racist or not because, you know, I don't know who Felix is. I only know PewDiePie. Secondly, he's very kind of stupid for saying it in the first place. He shouldn't have said that word in the first place because there's so many just bad things that are just gonna come out of it. Like I said, white, black, Asian, all ethnicity, all culture, all people. Nobody should be saying N-I-G-G-E-R because there is nothing good that comes from saying that word. We should have done what the Asians have done and just let words like cook, which by the way, I didn't even know cook was a bad word for Asians. Like, that's something I learned from KSI's video, which is mind-boggling. But we should have done what the Asians did. There are so many words that go bad for Asians that they're really racial bad. What the fuck? I can't even speak. There are racial slurs for Asians that are so bad for them, and most people don't even know about them. You know, you would only know about them if you obviously looked into Asian history, Asian American history, and learned about these things. But the average person don't know what some of those words are, and that's good. That's what we want with the N-word. We want the N-word to disappear to the point of the only way you know about them is if you read through history. That's what we want. So yeah, Asians did it right. they didn't try to change the word into something positive. They just left it for it to die. N-I-G-G-A, like I said before, either we all can say it or nobody can say it. I prefer nobody to say it, but it's far too late now. It's far too late. Unless all the rappers, all the music, artists, movie actors, Hollywood itself tries to prevent that word to be said permanently on television, on music tracks, then it's not going away anytime soon. I can see some people arguing that the N-I-G-G-A is part of that culture. I would kind of like to disagree with them, but I can't determine what's part of that culture and what's not part of that culture. I just prefer if that word just didn't exist altogether, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to sound perfect here. I've used the word myself on occasions, depending on how hyped I am for something or whether I'm pissed off in something. Like, I never used N-I-G-G-E-R as an insult. That's just something I don't use. Like, you know, sometimes I say N-I-G-G-A, and I only say it in my room because, you know, over here in Europe, it's not sometimes very common. Like, KSI is using it now a lot more often. It sounds weird when he says it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds so weird, and it doesn't come off naturally when he says it. But that's just my opinion. So I'm not saying I'm trying to be this perfect guy that knows what to do and what to not do. I'm just saying that as someone who's used it because he was influenced by, you know, rappers, by movies, I think it's best that we move on in a direction that just completely removes the N-word from our vocabulary. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think it's just that's just the best direction we can go with, because we cannot ban a word from a huge group of. I don't want to use the word race because I don't believe in race, but that's just how it is. Race, you know, white people, Asian people, things like that. Yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Once again, let me just quickly recap. N-I-G-G-E-R should not be used by any race whatsoever, no matter what the condition is. We shouldn't be using it at all. N-I-G-G-A, either we all get to use it and just make it a universal word that describes homie, my bro, yo, my classmate, that's pretty cool, I don't know. But either that or we all just cannot use it. There is no, or we can use it but you can't, because you just can't control it. Eventually there's gonna be a point where everyone's just gonna keep saying it. PewDiePie, he's stupid, he's fucked up, he's so stupid. I don't know how to express this. He escaped Nazism. He was called a Nazi for making that stupid ass joke, and he managed to escape and recover from it, and he goes and just slaps this on top of his resume. It's madness. Like I said, On YouTube, everyone puts on a persona. No one is real. People can claim that they're real, but you're not real. Like, because think about this. Every video that I'm getting tongue twisted here. Every video that you've ever made on YouTube, ask yourself this. Have you really been able to express your true opinions? Obviously not, because you don't want hate. You don't want to be judged in a particular way. You say what people want to hear. Yeah, it really is. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This video was not meant to be this long, and if you're hearing tapping throughout this video, it's not just me. Whenever I talk, I tend to tap things. I don't know why, but I do it. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below. I'm PewDiePie. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.